It's a big week here in the United States. It is, of course, election week. I have my own thoughts on the election, of course. Most people do. Even most people not in the United States, which is fair. You know, we can't view
What does
ourselves,
strength mean to you?
sorry guys, we can't view ourselves as separate, any of us, from world events. We are world events. So it's a concern for many people. Hey, Jace says, poop howdy. Odom says, good morning, Odom. Thanks for coming in, guys. Much appreciated. So here's how I'm going to proceed through election week. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to trust in the best possible outcome for everyone. I'm going to be gentle. And I'm going to forgive. By forgive, I don't necessarily mean that I'm going to say I forgive someone for voting the way they do. I forgive one for doing this. I forgive someone for doing that. This is a internal process. This isn't about changing the world. It's not about changing how people vote. It's not about changing anything except for my perception of the world. If I'm seeing anything but love, it means that I am engaged in my perception, that I am not addressing the cause of those perceptions. The cause is always and only the judgments that I have placed upon the world. Those judgments, largely based upon fear that I am small and separate, fear that I am not connected to the source, fear that you are different and other than me. All those are judgments, and they're projected out into the world. They cause the world in which I live, as well as the world in which you live. Imagine if we all turned within and we examined those perceptions, and we sought a healing for those projections, the world that we could possibly live in. So forgiveness is turning within and forgiving myself of my projections. It is not about you or anyone in the election. So I proceed through this week the same way I proceed through any week. Again, being kind, offering love, extending love, gentle and forgiving. Which brings me to lesson 122. I decided to skip through some lessons. You know, the first 50 lessons of A Course in Miracles are considered a path of negation, which sounds negative, of course. Hey, Ginger, why are you up off early? It is negative because our thoughts projected outwards have created a negative world. Jason says, Ginger, how's the ankle? How can any thought based upon judgment and fear create anything but a negative perception? However, that's not the real world. That is our perception of the world. So the first 50 or so lessons strip us bare, strip us of all the things that we have been believing so that we can get to the truth. Lesson 122 says, forgiveness offers everything I want. Remember, this is a different type of forgiveness. This is the forgiveness offered from the cross during the crucifixion. When Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, he didn't say forgive them their actions. He said forgive them because they are innocent in and of themselves, connected to the source, but they don't know what they do, meaning they don't know their own perception. They're living in a fear-based world because of their fear-based thoughts, that they are separate from God, separate from love. Jesus saw through that, and even through the agonizing moment on the cross, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That is the lesson of the crucifixion. In any moment, we can choose the crucifixion in which we are crucifying ourselves, crucifying others, or we can choose the resurrection in which everyone gets a moment to be reborn again in new light, including ourselves. we step back into the garden in which we've never left. That's forgiveness. Forgiveness means being in this moment. What's occurring right now in this moment? Any thought on the past has to be a thought on the past, meaning it can't be the actuality of the moment itself. Forgiveness is simply returning to this moment however often you need to. So, what could you want? This is from lesson 122. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of shore protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? All that forgiveness offers you and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids as you see no dream of fear and evil, malice and attack. And when you wake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this, forgiveness offers you and more. Goga, my friend. Goga says, first off, before I read what Goga says, let me say happy birthday to Goga. It was a weekend of celebration, celebrating our friend Goga. Goga said, good morning, Eric and everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. Jay says, let the heart guide direction and follow that with others. We will find a better life. Joining you in that prayer, my friend Jace. Beautiful. Jace says, Goga, greetings, brother. And Goga says, Odom, excited after Sunday. Let me polish the thumbnail now that the party is done. The party's never done, Goga. We're going to be celebrating you for a whole nother year. Junior says, my ankle must be someone else. Goga says, Jace, my lovely friend, namaste. Goga saying hey to Ginger. It was Roger, right? It was Roger who hurt his ankle. Rhode Island Roger. Ginger says, you're good. Hey to Goga. Odom says, happy birthday, Mr. President Goga. Odom says, my birthday is in 16 days. Happy early birthday, Odom. Stop by the live stream and we will be sure to celebrate. Goga says, well, November baby too. Oh, and Wednesday, our friend Theme Parks, his birthday is Wednesday. He is heading to Disneyland. Ginger says, I am the Red Roger. Not to be confused with the Rhode Island Roger. All right. Diving back in. Hey, Miss Southern Belle, how are you? Says, good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. Verse 3, lesson 122. Forgiveness offers everything I want. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted upon that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. It lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts, so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. What would you want forgiveness cannot give? What gifts, but those are worthy to be sought? What fancied value, trivial effect, or transient promise, never to be kept, can hold more hope than what forgiveness offers? Amazing. I absolutely love that right there. Let me bring it up again. Clears the memory, and clears the memory of all dead thoughts, so that remembrance of your Father, or the Tao, or the Christ, or love, whatever term you like to use, Krishna, can arise across the threshold of your mind. A lot of people are always, let's see, Miss Southernville says, I'm fine, I'm glad to hear that. A lot of people always ask about forgiveness and how do I forgive this? How do I forgive something that is so horrendous? And if I do forgive, does that mean I'm letting them off the hook? Does it mean that they're free to do that again? Doesn't mean any of that. Forgiveness has nothing to do with anyone else. It's your own inner process that sets you free. It clears your memories of all dead thoughts so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. What's happening in this moment? It's a teacher of mine, Sailor Bob Admonson, said, what's the matter with right now if you didn't think about it? Beyond the thought, if you cleared your memory of all the dead thoughts, meaning of what happened yesterday, what might happen tomorrow, those are all dead thoughts because they don't have an actuality in this moment. If we were clear of that, what would be wrong right now? Here's the answer. Find out. Find out. Don't take my word for it. Don't take the words of A Course in Miracles. Don't take anyone's word for it. Find out. Explore. Miss Southern Bell says, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. It is early. I'll be taking a walk in just a little bit. Scorpion Nation says, Odom. Odom says hello to Miss Southern Bell. And Southern Bell says, it's hard to forgive sometimes. I can't forgive two people. They're taking digs with me. Can I offer a suggestion? As long as we think forgiveness is something that we give others, it'll be impossible because we're forgiving from the ego. But when we forgive from the point, let's think of it as a quantum level. When we forgive from the spirit, we are setting ourselves right in this present moment. And we are also seeing how our own thoughts, our own perceptions, muddle up our own worldview. Makes it difficult to forgive ourselves, let alone forgiving other people. Everyone is going through their own battles. Everyone is caught up in their own mind stuff. Everyone is doing the best that they can. If they could do better, if they could see better, if they could perceive better, they would. Everyone is projecting their own fear into the world. Those fears, those judgments are being projected onto you. When we forgive, we're not saying I forgive those effects. We're not saying we're forgiving those actions. We're not saying that we're forgiving and letting people off the hook in that way. What we're saying is, I'm seeing through the mess that's in your mind, knowing that you are just as innocent, just as guiltless, just as sinless as I am, but you're making some mistakes. And I set you free, I set myself free. We're cutting those energetic ties that keep us bound to someone else. And when we learn that lesson, we're free. Regardless, I almost said irregardless, regardless of what anyone else offers us. We're independent of the good opinion of others. As Abraham Maslow, the father of positive psychology, he's the one who did the hierarchy of needs. When he was asked, what is a self-actualized person? And he said, it is someone who is independent of the good opinion of others, meaning they carry on with their life, independent of what other people are doing. If you attack me, I am independent of your actions. I live my own life. I'm free. Miss Southern Bell says, okay, thank you. This frees you so much energy, Miss Southern Bell, that now you take that energy and you create your own life of beauty, regardless of all those other people. They're actually helping you because they are teaching you how to let go. They are teaching you how to love. Every moment, every person that comes in our life, is an opportunity for us to be a teacher of love. Can I extend love even in this condition? Hey, Easy. Easy says, good morning, Eric. Good morning, my friend. How are you? So, man, I love my live streams, everything, whatever comes up, because it's an opportunity. We teach what we need to learn. If I need to learn forgiveness, someone gives me something in which I need to forgive. If I need to learn love, someone teaches me through an opportunity that I can extend love. Do I always learn these lessons? Nope. Not even a little bit. But I get to practice. I have an entire day to practice. And trust me, someone would most definitely give me something to practice. Let me read real quick what I read yesterday. We're talking about God's teachers. We are all teachers of God because we're always teaching love. Or we're either demonstrating love or we're demonstrating fear. That's what we're teaching. We get to choose what we want to teach. So when someone said, who are the God's teachers? All of us. Here are the qualifications. They consist solely, somehow, somewhere, they have made a deliberate choice in which we did not see our interests as apart from someone else's. We came together in this moment where we did not see our interests as apart from someone else's. We laid aside our grievances and we offered only love, regardless of what someone else brought us. We, meaning it's always on us, it's never on someone else. We always think I'll forgive when someone says I'm sorry. We'll always forgive when someone extends an olive branch. It's never about anyone else. It's always about what we do. Once we have done that, our direction is sure. A light has entered the darkness. It may be a single light, but it's enough. Let's see. Miss Sotherbell says hello to Goga. Ginger says yes. Yogi loves us and the stuff we teach. I do, absolutely. Unconditionally. And again, it's not always easy, and I don't always learn the lesson. But guess what? If I don't learn the lesson, it comes up again through someone else, another opportunity. Until we learn, they just keep coming up and coming up and coming up. Goga says, I am well, Miss Southern Belle. That was a little poem from Goga. It rhymes. I am well, Miss Southern Belle. So I'm going to go out for my walk in just a minute, guys. Appreciate you joining me. The Monday morning live streams are always pretty short. Sometimes they can go on close to an hour, but I try to keep it, 20 minutes, half an hour? That frees us up to have a little more fun in the afternoon and the late afternoon. So all of this, man, again, it's playing through my thoughts because here in the States, it is election week. Anyone here old enough to remember when it used to be election day? One day, you knew who won, sometimes by the end of the day, but most of the time by the next day. Now it is election week, sometimes it's election month. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's hope there is a clear, decisive winner, and regardless who it is, may they lead with courage, with faith in us, faith in people, faith in themselves, faith in love, and may they unite. Whoever it is, may they unite us all. That's my wish. Jay says, may this week be peaceful and fun. Thank you, my friend. I hope so. Tanya says, hey, Yogi, good to catch you. Hey, Tandra. So Tandra's here at the early, for me, live stream. If Tandra makes it in the afternoon and later in the day, it'll be the rare trifecta. The trifecta of live streams. I need to get stickers made. And I can send people. When they make that trifecta, I can send them a sticker. I gotta see how I can do that. If you reach that rare trifecta, it means you have so much patience. It means that, it could also mean that, guys, you got nothing better to do than come here and see me. But even that deserves a sticker. The trifecta of Yogi. It's good to see you, Tandra. You know what? I'm glad you came in. Because I want to put your playlist up. You are first for the morning, Tandra. You're going to be the first. You, Toy Pups, and Jace. I'm going to replay Jace's workout. Tanya says, lovely, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. As I mentioned before, man, Tandra's got a lovely voice and such an easy, laid-back live stream. I put her playlist on, and it's hanging out with a friend throughout the day. It's harder putting Jace's playlist up because when I listen to Jace, I always get this like subtle inner urge to do sit-ups. No matter what I'm doing. I'll be sitting here listening to Jace, I'll be eating my breakfast, and all of a sudden I get this inspiration to do sit-ups. I don't need that, guys. Jay says we're going to need a sticker book. Weird. There we go. The trifecta of weird. You guys can help me think of a sticker. Ginger says I'm up early because I only got 6 or 7 hours of sleep. I went to bed 9 p.m. On accident. You fell asleep last night too when I was talking. That should be another sticker. I fell asleep during Eric's live stream. Hey, Night Watcher. How are you, my friend? Goga says Tandra. Jay says Tandra has the sweetest voice. She does, doesn't she? Tandra says Jace, and she's laughing. Ginger says, yes, I did. It's a small service that I like to provide people absolutely for free. If you're having trouble sleeping, if you need a cat nap, if you just need a little bit of rest, come here, guaranteed to put you to sleep in half hour or less, or money back. I'm offering a money back guarantee. If I don't put you to sleep within 40 minutes, you guys let me know. Maybe that will be the chat. Maybe that will be the poll. Remind me that in the afternoon. Have you fallen asleep during my live stream? I want to ask that question. Tony says, Yogi kept me awake last night. That's because they were in suspense. Could I actually catch up in that conversation? Man, was I behind. I don't know if I've ever been that far behind. Now what you says, if I had a nickel for every time I fell asleep while he streams, I have 4 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird. It happens quad times. Interesting. I need to send you 4 nickels then. We got another poem. We got a poem from Jace. I got to copy and paste this. There's a guy called Yogi, takes 6 pills each night before bed. He does the most amazing streams, and all without a hair on his head. That sums it up perfectly. That should be the motto of my live streams. Just the end part, without a hair on his head. Nightwatch says every time. Junior says, oh, my younger son, who has ADHD just like me, at 5 years old, something, if he sleeps for 10 hours, that's how we know he's growing or sick. 10 hours. Yeah, I guess so with ADHD. Tantra's laughing with Jace. Such a lovely poem. Hey, Tandra, could you use that lyric in a song? That's the question. All right, so guys, I'm gonna head out and take my walk. Ginger says, you don't sleep ever? Well, I'm in bed really early. I'm usually in bed by 7:15 or so, and going to sleep about 7:30, and I'm up somewhere between 2 o'clock and 2:20. Hey, Luke. Luke says, love you, Yogi. Love you too, my friend. Jace says, leaves today, Yogi. Thank you, Jace. I will be on the lookout. Noodle says, I'm going to make Jace's poem better. There's a man named Yogi, which takes sleeping pills every reverse morning. Has the most amazing streams, but nowhere on his knees or on his head. I gotta check. Now you got me curious. Do I actually have hair on my knees? I've never considered that. Tandra says, bye for now. Have a nice day. You too, Tandra. Thank you. Jace waves at Luke. Luke's waving back. Just to clarify, not sleeping pills. They are pills. Herbatonin, valerian root, and ashwagandha, as well as just a hint of melatonin. Jay says, I have hairy knees. I have no idea. I've never once considered the hairiness of my knees, but now Night Watcher's got me at least curious. I'm going to end the live stream. I'm going to go look at my knees. The weirdest things happen 5 a.m. And you know what? They always happen when Jace is here. Coincidence? I don't think so. I'm going to go look at my knees. Luke says, I love this channel. And it's Oyo. Luke says, people, I also have hairy knees. How do you guys know this? Did you just look, or do you just know that you do? Ginger says, see you in a few hours. I take melatonin once in a while. Matt Watcher says, no, right now. Look at you. I'm wearing 2 layers before I go out on my walk. Tanya says, yes, can you look now? I don't know if I'm capable of. I'm going to see what I can do. All right, this goes down. I thought yesterday was going to be the weirdest live stream ever. As it turns out, today, this morning, is the weirdest live stream ever. This is it's killing me. All right. I have hair on my knees. I have more hair on one knee than I have on my entire head. Well, top of my head. Is that normal? Am I supposed to have hair on my knee? All right, we know that Luke has hair on his knees. We know that Jace has hair on his knees. I want to know, does Goga have hair on his knees? Jace says, I'm naked doing the gardening. Weird style. I'm joking, by the way. Joking. I'm doing the air quotes, by the way. So, all right. I got two polls that we're going to do today. One, have you fallen asleep during my live stream? Two, do you have hair on your knees? These questions will be asked later today. So I do have hair on my knees. Skid says, he's laughing, have a wonderful week. Thank you, Jace. Thank you for being here to help us answer the all-important question. Nightwatch says, you have hair on your knees. Hey, our friend Nightmare went way back on my live streams to see me when I actually had a little bit of a ponytail. That was right after the shutdown. I took a chance. It didn't work out. Tanya says, no. So Tanya has no hair on her knees. Ginger says, you don't? Ginger doesn't have hair on his knees? Sid says, I came at the most random time. So now we want to know, does Skits have hair on his knees? Goga says, hair on knees? Jay says, what happened to these streams? Awesome, guys. Ginger says, oh yes, I tell Yogi to do audiobooks. You do. And I do think about that. Now, which is I have ingrown hair on my knees, but no hair. Ingrown hairs. Is that painful? Skits says, hey Goga, and everyone in the chat. Hope you have a great week, my friends. Thank you, Skits. Hey, Ian. Ian says, hey, Aaron in chat. Hope you have a great week. You too, my friend. Just there's like nail brushes. Skits says, yes, but very little. Hey, it counts. Got hairs on my fingers, though. Hair on my fingers, but not on my toes. Only joking. Goga says, Ian, hey. Everyone's saying hi. Awesome, guys. We have answered some very important questions. Jay says, trying to find a good book. I fall asleep to classical music. I love classical music. I've talked about that with our friend Ian. Before I go, I'm going to make a suggestion. Ginger, part of my sleep hygiene practice is I pick a familiar book, but one that is inspirational. One that doesn't really stimulate the mind, but it's planting seeds that as I read, I take them with me into my deep sleep, and they sprout later in my life. It could be the Bible. It could be A Course in Miracles. It could be the Bhagavad Gita. It could be my little book. My first book. Going to give myself a shameless plug. It could be my first book. Because it is pretty boring. And you do want a boring book. Because you want something that helps you go to sleep. That it shuts the mind down. And then you take those thoughts with you, and your subconscious mind will act upon those thoughts. That's why you want something positive. Nightwatch wants to know if Ian has hair on his knees. Ginger says, oops, I read that. Ginger says, good read to me. I should try to do that. Let me look into that. If I can read my book, I don't have to worry about a copyright strike unless I want to take myself to court. Skid says, hey Ian, have a wonderful week, my friend. Do Australians have hair on their knees? Australians, because it's in the southern atmosphere, have hair on the back of their knees. Tanya says, I can visualize Yogi laughing to himself in his morning walk. Yeah, I will be laughing. That's for sure. Ian says, Jace, great dog. New subscriber. Awesome, guys. Jace says, that's guaranteed. Tatandra, it is. Night Watcher says, Yogi, we all love shameless and downright despicable plugs. I will be sure to give myself more. Ian says, thanks, big dog as well. Nice. Hey, Theme Parks, I just mentioned you a little bit ago, saying that your birthday is coming up. Gets his laughing. So, one more shameless plug. I'm going to see if I can somehow, even if it's not connected with Amazon or something, if I can read my book and have it offered. Maybe I can do the whole thing as a live, or not a live, but as a video. Let's see what I can do. Jay says, back to the knees. I found myself, and look, head between the knees. Now I'm curious, do I have hair on the back of my knees? But we're not going to find out today, or at least this live stream. Theme says, yay, leaving tomorrow for California, and his birthday will be celebrated in Disneyland. Happy early birthday to our friend Theme, just in case we don't see you. Ian says, Skits, I'm related to an Alan. Don't know about the hairs on my knees. Alan Watts. All right, I'm going to head out. I'm going to take my walk. Man, thanks for the laugh, guys. This was a fun one. Skit says, Ian, you're a legend, my friend. Keep smiling, brother. Absolutely. Gregor says, Parts excited about Disneyland. Man, Theme has been talking about this since I met him. And that's been well over a month. It might be 2 months. Very exciting. And man, his enthusiasm brings a big smile on my face. Theme says, yes, I am. Night Watcher says, old man takes himself to court over copyright violation of his own book. That's me. Ian says, I learned from Goga. He taught me all the secrets. Man, Goga is a wonderful teacher, that's for sure. All right, guys, I'm heading outside. I'm going to see everyone later. I'll be back in the afternoon. Take care, guys.